A millionaire come to picks up his son from school, and he is shocked to find this. The end-of-day bell rang, and the school hallways emptied fast. Students spilled outside in noisy groups, but behind the rush, one boy didn't move. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, where are you watching this from? I love seeing how far this message reaches. Jamal, a pale blonde 10-year-old in a wrinkled uniform shirt, sat slumped against the lockers, his chest rising in short, painful breaths. His right eye was cut, a stream of blood sliding down his cheek, staining the collar of his pale blue shirt. Moments earlier, the laughter of his classmates had been sharp and cruel. "Daddy's money can't save you, rich boy." One older kid had sneered before slamming Jamal into the lockers. They had scattered just as quickly, leaving him shaking, alone, and hurt. Jamal tried to wipe the blood with his sleeve, but it only smeared, stinging worse. He bit his lip to choke back a sob, but it broke free anyway, a sound so small it was almost swallowed by the empty corridor. "Hold still, son. Don't rub it. You'll only make it worse." The voice came low, steady, and kind. Jamal startled, lifting his eyes to see Mr. Richard, the school custodian. Dressed in a gray and navy uniform, a name tag crooked on his chest, Richard's hands were rough and scarred from years of scrubbing and fixing. He knelt slowly beside the boy, his dark eyes filled with concern. I didn't fight them," Jamal stammered. "They just pushed me, "I believe you," Richard cut in gently. He pulled a clean cloth from his pocket and pressed it lightly against the wound. "No need to explain. I saw enough," Jamal winced. "It hurts." "I know, son. You'll be all right," Richard dabbed carefully, checking the bleeding. His jaw tightened as he glanced down the hallway, not a teacher in sight. "Where's the nurse? No one stopped to help?" Jamal's voice cracked. "Everyone walked away. Nobody cares. They hate me because of my dad. They say I think I'm better than them." Tears welled again. "But I don't. I don't even talk to them." Richard steadied his grip on the cloth, his tone turning firm. "Listen to me, Jamal. You're not the problem here. The weak ones are the kids who pick on somebody smaller. You hear me? You're not weak." Jamal hesitated, then whispered, "If my dad finds out, he'll be angry. He says, I can't look soft. He hates when I cry." Richard's expression hardened. "Your father should be angry at those boys, not you." Jamal's hands trembled, clutching Richard's sleeve as though it were the only safe place in the world. "Why? Why are you helping me? Everyone calls you names. They say you're just the janitor." Richard paused, keeping his voice calm, but waited. "Maybe I am just the janitor. But I know what it feels like when nobody steps up for you. And I swore, not one kid in this building was going to feel abandoned if I could do something about it." Jamal blinked through his tears. The man's words carried a weight deeper than pity. It was a promise. Richard sighed and reached into his pocket again. From it, he pulled a small candy, slipping it into Jamal's shaking hand. "Don't tell anyone I carry these, but it might help you calm down a little." Jamal sniffled, staring at the candy. "You're nicer than teachers," Richard chuckled softly. "Don't say that too loud, or I'll have extra floors to mop." The boy's sobs slowed, though the pain in his eyes still throbbed. For a moment, there was quiet. Then came the sound, sharp and deliberate, the click of polished shoes echoing down the empty hall. Richard's head turned. Jamal froze. At the far end of the hallway, a tall man in a tailored blue suit strode forward, his polished shoes striking the floor with authority. Mr. Whitmore, Jamal's father, carried a brown leather briefcase. His expression was stiff at first, but when his eyes landed on his son, bloodied, trembling, clinging to the janitor, his face hardened. "Dad," Jamal whispered, voice breaking all over again. Richard rose partway from his crouch, still keeping one hand steady on Jamal's shoulder, protective. He could feel the weight of the father's glare as the man approached. Mr. Whitmore stopped only a few feet away. His gaze darted between his injured son and the custodian in his work uniform. The hall was so quiet, Jamal could hear his father's breath. Mr. Whitmore's voice thundered in the quiet corridor. What the hell is happening here? Jamal flinched, his small fingers tightening around Richard's sleeve. The boy opened his mouth, but no sound came. Fear of his father always froze his words. Richard rose slowly to his full height, still keeping himself between Jamal and the man in the blue suit. Your son's hurt. I found him here, bleeding. No one else. But Whitmore's eyes narrowed like a blade. Bleeding? And you're standing over him? Do you expect me to believe you just found him? Jamal gasped. Dad, no. He helped me. Be quiet, Jamal. Whitmore snapped, his voice sharp, silencing his son instantly. The boy's swollen eye filled with fresh tears. Richard's jaw tightened. Sir, I don't know what you're implying, but the truth's simple. Your boy was left here alone, beaten up. I was the only one who stopped to help. Whitmore's glare deepened. You? A custodian? You think I'd trust you with my child? Jamal burst out desperate. He's telling the truth. They pushed me, Dad. They laughed at me. Nobody cared. He's the only one who did. For a moment, silence stretched. Whitmore's expression faltered, but pride forced his tone colder. You mean to tell me not one teacher was around? Not one adult except him? Richard's voice lowered, calm but cutting. You can doubt me all you want, but your boy's the one you should listen to. He don't lie. Whitmore's knuckles whitened on his briefcase handle. He looked down at Jamal, whose swollen eye and trembling hands spoke louder than words. Still, he turned his frustration on Richard. If this school can't keep him safe, maybe it's because they leave people like you wandering these halls. Richard's eyes darkened, but he didn't raise his voice. People like me? You mean the ones cleaning up after your son when the world's too busy to care? Jamal's breathing hitched. Dad, please stop. He's not lying. They hurt me because of you, because you're rich. They say I think I'm better. His voice broke, sobs cutting him off. I didn't do anything wrong. Whitmore stared at his son, the words sinking like stones. For the first time, his confident posture faltered. The cut above Jamal's eye wasn't just a mark of playground roughness. It was humiliation, abandonment, cruelty. Richard crouched down again, leveling his gaze with Jamal's. You didn't do anything wrong, son. Remember that. You're stronger than they'll ever be just for standing here. Jamal blinked through tears, nodding faintly. His small hand clutched Richard's as if afraid his father might pull him away. Whitmore's throat tightened. The image pierced him. His boy clinging to a janitor for comfort when he, the millionaire father, was right there. Pride and shame battled in his chest. Finally, his voice came lower, unsteady. You really helped him. Richard didn't flinch. I did what anyone should have done. But I reckon not everyone bothers. The words stung Whitmore more than he cared to admit. For years he had preached toughness to his son, telling him not to cry, not to look weak. Yet here was proof. When Jamal was broken and bleeding, it wasn't wealth or power that saved him. It was kindness from a man most overlooked. Jamal tugged lightly at his father's sleeve, his swollen eyes pleading. Don't be mad at him, Dad. Please, he's the reason I'm okay. Whitmore's chest rose and fell, the weight of his son's plea pressing on him harder than any business deal ever had. His gaze shifted back to Richard. And for once, the arrogance slipped. Thank you, he muttered, the words tasting unfamiliar in his mouth. Richard nodded simply. Take him to a doctor. The cut ain't too deep, but it needs cleaning properly. Whitmore bent down, his voice softer as he touched his son's shoulder. Come on, Jamal. Let's get you checked out. But Jamal clung tighter to Richard's hand. He helped me when nobody else did. I don't want to just leave like it didn't happen. Richard gave the boy's hand a firm squeeze. You don't owe me anything, son. Just remember, being strong doesn't mean hiding your pain. It means standing tall even when you're hurt. Whitmore's eyes flicked between them, something breaking inside him. For years, he had mistaken strength for silence. Now, watching his son lean on the man in a janitor's uniform, he saw strength in a different light. As they walked toward the exit, Jamal glanced back over his shoulder, his voice faint but certain. "You're nicer than anyone here, mister." Richard gave a tired smile, lifting his mop handle like a quiet salute. "Just do me a favor. Grow up better than the ones who hurt you." Whitmore heard it too, and though he didn't reply, the words echoed long after they left the school. That night, as Jamal slept with his bandaged eye, Whitmore sat alone in his study. For the first time, he admitted to himself, all the money in the world had never made his son safe, but one man's compassion had, and it was a debt he could never repay. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.